What's up, everybody, and welcome to This Week in Gaming. We're back once again, Monday at 8 p.m. on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube, where we talk about the latest video game news, topics, and whatever we bloody well like. We're here again, and of course, I am not on my own. I'm joined by Luke from Luke and James Play.
Whoa, what up, people? I'm Luke from Luke and James Play.
Just the two of us.
Yeah, it's me and Rog, so it's Luke and Roger Plays. Luke and Roger talks about plays. We're going to talk about plays and West End shows.
It is all about West End shows.
Broadway.
I don't know where to go.
Yeah, there you go. Have that. Segue from that.
Talking about Broadway shows, don't you think they're a little bit scary? That's because we're going to be talking about Resident Evil 2 on tonight's show, pretty much all the way through. We're joined also by Tom, who's playing on the PlayStation 4, playing Resident Evil 2. Have you died yet?
Weird if...
No. Hang on, you nearly did though, before you got to the PlayStation.
Wouldn't it be strange if, like, people don't, like, you meet Tom in real life, he's actually only got half a face and a body.
And a hand.
You only ever, you only ever see, like, this much, a torso, and you see that much of it.
Like, hi everyone. Oh, it's Tom.
Yeah, and he turns around and you're like, oh.
What he did is, like, he actually only has half a beard, so he's only got, like, ginger from that side.
Totally smooth.
And totally smooth that side. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us again for another episode. Like I said, this is all going to be about Resident Evil 2, since it came out on Friday, and that's pretty much the game that me and Luke have been playing this last few days, so...
I've been playing one other one.
Ooh, what have you been playing?
Anthem.
Oh, dude, you get access to the VIP demo?
Yeah, good, yeah.
Okay, so it's going to be about Resident Evil 2 on the show, and Anthem.
little bit Anthem.
Go on then, before we go any further then, into the Resident Evil 2 show, talk to me about Anthem. Like, talk me through the demo. Like, what is it about?
Okay. Well, first of all, the demo was a shambles. The VIP demo was a shambles. I managed to get on. I got 3 extra codes. I dished them out. I got James on, obviously. So the game, it puts you into Fort Tarsus, which is the hub world, and that's basically this single-player version of the game. The game is kind of like split between multiplayer and single-player, and this Fort place is in first person, and that's where you interact with all the story characters, and you get that first-person experience with the game from BioWare that like Mass Effect, when that was.
Is it a bit like in Assassin's Creed Black Flag, where you'd go back out of the Animus and it'd all go first person and you'd wander around and talk to people?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you'd be out of your javelin, which is your suit that you wear, you walk around and talk to the people of the place Fort Tarsus, and this is where you buy stuff and upgrade your javelin and all that sort of shit. Then you go into your javelin, and then that's when you go off on expeditions, which are the missions, so which are all in all the multiplayer aspect of the game. So there's a free play, which is like you can explore the open world in this, omnidirectional javelin that can fly, sprint. You're like, Iron Man basically. Just different types of Iron Man. And then obviously there's structured missions, and there's like strongholds for you to do, which is like, obviously this game is very always compared to Destiny.
You see, you do get a very Destiny vibe from.
Yeah, it's a shared world shooter. So when you're in the javelin, it's third person. So you're flying about, and it's over the shoulder shooting. There's guns, there's abilities, very like fast, and like there's explosions and there's colors. It's really cool. It's really good, but the demo was really difficult to get on with because it just didn't work. As in, the servers were just smashed to bits, and you're like, it's the same old excuse all devs give you is
we weren't prepared.
We weren't ready for this amount of people. Are you fucking serious? Like, Anthem is super like, what's the word when they're anticipated? It's like mega. A lot of people are
really looking forward to it.
Some people are thinking Anthem's EA's last ditch effort. For some reason, I don't know why. They mess up a lot of things. EA. A lot of people aren't happy with EA. Battlefront, things like that. So anyway, and this was the VIP demo, so only not just anyone could get on there. You've had to have pre-ordered the game. Already
having server problems.
Yeah, and like obviously you know there's going to be problems. Like all games have that.
Yeah.
But you know this is not a small company. It's not like they could have gone to the CEOs and gone, yeah, you know, we're going to put out this, you know, little game Anthem. Yeah, we're going to need like one server. They'd have gone, you know, there's just throw money at it. You're going to need about 50 million billion servers. So I don't know. But anyway,
Thing is, when they run a game, okay, they have a lot of servers. They must, like, have the experience of what BioWare's got and what EA has got. They must have estimated numbers of what they'll go, right, this is how many servers we're going to need. Now, even if they overestimate and then retract it back, isn't that a better experience to try and get a game which is a demo out to an audience to be able to get a nice bit of traction so then more people pre-order it?
So it runs super smooth, and everyone will be like, yeah, the demo was sick. Can't wait for the full game. And the demo was good because it eventually worked, but it took... Like, there was this, and it still is, there's this horrible bug where you'd get in, you'd go load into a mission, and the loading bar would go up to 90% and just stick there and wouldn't go any further. And then the game would just crash. And you're like, come on, what is this shit? But once you... Excuse me.
The problem is with that is, like, obviously odd problems such as that, where it's like you said, like, you've enjoyed the demo, but you can't help but put a but behind it. Like, I enjoyed the demo,
it's good,
but
however, yeah, and like so, and I got that before I'd even played it. It loaded into the Fort Tarsus, the first person bit, walking around. Went to do the mission, and that was it. It loaded 90%, stopped, and I went, oh fuck this, turned it off, and I was like, yeah, whatever. And I came back to it, managed to got in with James, and then it kicked him out. So then I was running around on my own. Fine. Then we got him back in, and then it just had this horrible rubber banding where you would, obviously, you're fast paced, so you jump in the air and you fly, and you would jump in the air, fly, and it would just put you back on the ground again. Because obviously the server didn't realise you'd done that. So on your screen, you've done it, but the server was like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about, mate. And then it puts you back where you were. And it was just doing that whole time. And then eventually it'd let you go where you was going, but you'd get like, you know, a little bit further in the end, and then it would, you would be there, and then you'd go a bit further, and it'd go, nope, and you go back. And it was just...
Thing is,
like, why? How can this be happening on this game?
The thing is with it is they've actually marketed this as a demo. They want it. It was like a VIP pass.
Yep.
If they'd have said beta, they probably could have got away with it because it'd been like, oh, we're still testing stuff.
Yeah.
This is a demo. This is your point to convince people that one, they've made the right purchase.
Yeah, and the game is out soon. Like, it's out at the end of Feb. So you're like, okay, fine. So, all right, they might use the numbers from now to be like, okay, so next week there's going to be open demo, so anyone can get on it.
Yep.
And you're like, okay, so if the servers didn't work with, you know, a more funneled entrance. And
Let's just open the floodgates. Fuck it.
The reason I'm a little bit annoyed as well is because I was like, okay, I really want to play demo. I'll just pay for the £15 a month subscription to their EA Access, which lets you get loads of games, which is really good value. And I paid that just to get the demo, basically. And the demo didn't work. I played the demo for about an hour over this weekend.
It leaves a bad taste in
I
your
have
mouth.
limited time to play games anyway, but the time I had to play it just played with issues. And it was Sunday evening at night, fairly late. You know, we're talking about 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night.
To be absolutely honest, what this like, and this is to what they call in their VIP, like, people.
So this is all the pre-orders.
Yeah, they use them as a test bed. They've gone, oh, because you pre-ordered it, you're going to test this. And then they go, like, that's the worst people because they could cancel their pre-orders.
Yeah.
And it's like, if
So I can cancel my month's subscription, so by the end of February, I won't have a game.
If you might go, I don't want to play Anthem. I'll wait for 6 months.
If you pre-order the game, which is $54.99 or whatever it is on Origin, you know, you've been royally shafted.
You want to convince the people who pre-ordered the game that they do not want to cancel their pre-order and make sure that they tell everybody how amazing the Anthem demo was.
Exactly, and the demo was only a small, tiny piece of the game. This game's supposed to be huge. So how they're gonna? Obviously, they'll probably fix it by then. But I'm just fed up with. Oh, we didn't realize that the only excuse is, oh, we didn't realize how many people would turn up. It's like, fuck off.
It's like, yeah,
it's not an excuse anymore.
It's not rocket science at all. Not rocket science. Hi,
Yana.
Yana. Sorry,
I'm pretty much ranting. Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Everyone who played with us reflected that. Like James said the same. This is ridiculous. He just stopped playing it. He was doing something else for a little while, and I started playing Rings of Elysium with Langley. So yeah, it was, but what I did play was good, and I could see myself getting really into it. So
tell me a little bit about the gameplay. So when I caught some of the footage of what was happening, it did give off a very much a Destiny vibe of like the shooting and stuff like that, and the quests in that way, and shooting the NPCs and.
So I mainly got to play. I mainly got to do free play, which is just flying about doing whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
And there was dynamic events, world events that you could do, and they were fairly engaging. They were pretty cool, but it was nothing really much different than kill everything here, and then destroy their little respawn points.
Mm-hmm.
Do that. Another thing was one cool bit was there was like this. I can't remember what they called it, like a relic or something, and it was glowing, and it was spitting out these little orbs, and basically you had to collect the orbs and then dunk them back where the relic was. To when you did all of those, there was like 6 of them around, so you could jump and fly and whatever. You didn't have to kill anything. It would open, and then when you did that, it opened this door, like this huge, like an eye, how it sort of goes bigger. And you fly in there, and there was like a boss enemy or something to fight in there, or a little puzzle or something like that. That was quite neat. So there was like a puzzle that stumped me and Jim for a little while, because there was these different colour glyphs, and we were like, well, how do we know what one's what? Like, we don't. And then Jim fell underneath a bridge, and realised there was a glowing image there, and that was the glyph for that thing. So, but they were all in different spots. They weren't all under the bridge. We had to look around and find them. So that was quite neat.
It's trying to encourage you to use your different forms of gameplay, which is within obviously using your javelin to move around and stuff like that.
Yeah, and again, Destiny has all that sort of stuff. But in raids, like there'll be a section where you can't just shoot your way through it. You have to be smart about it, and you have to shoot them in certain order or whatever. So I can see all that happening. But yeah, mainly the loop is, you kill an enemy, you get loot.
The one thing that I am looking forward to, which I'm going to ask you about whether or not this was available in the demo, I don't know. How is the customization for your javelin go? Is it like, do you just customize color or how it looks, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's very in depth actually, and it's quite good. So basically, they give you a small bit of the currency, the premium currency, because obviously there are microtransactions in the game. There's no loot boxes or anything like that. It's purely cosmetic, and obviously you can earn all this in the game. So they just give you the money, and a rough price so you can do whatever. And yeah, so basically you can fully customize your loadout of what weapons you want, guns. The javelin I played was the Ranger, which is an all-rounder. There's kind of like classes for the javelins, and yeah, so you two weapons. The Ranger has a grenade. He has like this bubble shield, like called the Bulwark, which is quite handy, very tactical. There's that, and then you go to the customization. What did you say? The cosmetic customization.
Yeah, cosmetics. Yeah.
And then you can obviously each piece you can change the arms. You can have different types of arms. So that's cool. I bought for 25 of the coin, and they gave you 100. You could have like bigger, thicker arms that were more look like armor instead. Yeah, like
beefing it up.
Yeah, and I
just stood there, kept on doing pose like that every time you killed.
Yeah,
it's like
so you can buy emotes. There was emotes like landing emotes, so you do the 3-point, hero landing, and I changed it to a dust off one where he sort of dusts himself off after he's landed. But yeah, you can do that. So you change the types of arms and stuff, helmet, body, whatever, all within that sort of class of javelin, because there's like big beastie javelins and really thin, fast javelins. Do all that, and then you can change obviously all the colours. You can put decals on there. You can put what type of material each thing is. So like there's rubber, so you can change the colour of the rubber, and then is it aged rubber? Is it new rubber? Is it old rubber? And that obviously changes how it looks. Same with the metal. Is it new rubber? Is it pristine?
Giving different textures to it and depth and stuff.
And then there's, you can have brass. You can be all gold if you want to be all gold. So that's really fully extensive. You can really customize, and then obviously you put a full decal on there.
I would try to make myself look like Iron Man as much as possible.
I almost did that. I did it, and they're like, "Oh, you just look rubbish," and I was like, "Fine, whatever."
I was like, "Fuck you guys, I look awesome."
Yeah, but there was loads of colours to choose from, loads of different materials to choose from, which is crazy.
Yeah,
and yeah, there were customization is pretty deep.
I say it looks really interesting. It's just such a shame they've had such problems with it. I think I just hope that the open one next weekend goes all right. I'm looking forward to it. I'm interested to have a go on it and see how it feels. Like,
yeah.
Are you looking forward to trying out Anthem next weekend?
Yeah, should be good.
Should be good. Like I think it's like the Destiny. See, I promise with Destiny with me is I get bored really quickly of Destiny. Like, it's a great game. I can understand why people like it, But for me, I got bored really, really quickly with like the story, and I hope the story comes through well with Anthem.
Yeah, so this is the good thing with Anthem. They're trying to. There's obviously story and narrative and stuff when you're in the missions, and then obviously when you go back to Fort Tarsus, you've got like the dialogue options, and you can interact with people. There was no interaction with people back in the tower in Destiny. They would just say a few pre-scripted lines, and then they would put up a shop.
Yep.
And you could buy some crap from them, and that was it. And then you'd have to read a Grimoire card or whatever to find out why they became like the leader of the Guardians or whatever. And you're like, okay, whatever. Yep. But in this, they're like, they're people. They're trying to be like, oh, I came wherever because I was a farmer, and then now I build robot suits or whatever.
I was a farmer,
and then there's there's only two options. There's like one or two options you can pick from in the demo anyway. But
That's
they
cool.
try and so you've got that. And the Fort Tarsus evolves as you do more missions because obviously you're trying to help them out. So like it's all kind of run down and shitty at the moment. And then as you do more missions, it'll brighten up. And more places open up. So like the new missions come available and stuff like that.
It looks really. I got to admit, I'm really interested in giving it a go, and I'm definitely going to give it a chance.
Free demo, you might as well try it.
Exactly. Well, it's worth trying out. Yeah, I do hope they really sort it out. I just feel it's kind of bad that the VIP people got to experience that in the
and they didn't even extend it. Normally, they extend a demo when it's just bullshit.
I think, to be absolutely honest, that they realised they were in a bit of shit. And they're like, we need a load of work. They're probably like, Monday morning, I can imagine them all having a bit of a meeting.
The whip was like,
right then, lads, like, let's pull our finger out, shall we? And
better have been.
So, they may, I don't know, I've got a slight feeling that we may hear something over the week about what's happening next weekend.
Possibly.
That they may start it 48 hours before for the VIP people or something like that to kick it up and running again. They need to do something to give them a little bit of credibility and a bit of, not credibility, that's the wrong word, but like a little bit of a give back a little bit to the people that have pre-ordered it, just to get rid of all the bad taste and get the new stuff in.
And it needs to be it needs to be more than, here's some extra in-game money that costs real world money or something. It needs to be a bit more than that.
They need to do something, definitely for the VIP people. If you've got their money, you do not want them walking away at all. Anyway, guys, that was Anthem, so that will be available, is it Friday? Friday, the open one, or is it Saturday?
Yeah, so this weekend coming, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is the open demo that anyone can join in, and then a game releases in February 20th.
Also, if it's
15th.
Is it still up on to be able to be downloaded, the demo? Because the demo for the PlayStation was about 23 gig.
On PC, it was 40 something.
Ooh. Yes, so if it's still available, I would advise people, if you're interested in trying it out, go download it now, and it's ready for the weekend for when it gets released. So there'll probably just be an update for it going open, or hopefully a big update to remove all the bugs.
Turn the servers on, won't they?
Like, oh shit, we've got all of these over here. Why did we flick this switch? Well, there we go.
Why don't we turn these on? Yeah.
Anyway, guys, like I said, this is going to be very much down the Resident Evil 2 route. This came out on Friday. Tom is currently playing it as the clear run through on standard mode on the PlayStation 4 Pro. This is actually he did the demo, but this is the first time in playing the main game. So, Luke.
Yeah.
How far have you got in Resident Evil 2?
Okay, so I didn't get to play the game as much as I wanted to. Obviously, I was playing a little bit of Anthem, but I'm playing as Claire, as you guys are, and I got into the police station and I cleared, basically, when you're in the police station, I cleared the left half side of it, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
Did all that bit, came back out, met Marv.
Marv,
hey
Marv, he's like, oh, got a stitch.
Oh, yeah, this really hurts. And I'm like, you'll be fine.
You notice how
I was like, okay.
Leon doesn't ask him about it. It's like, oh, thanks very much. Right, oh, great, I've got some nice SWAT armor now. Thank you very much for that. I'm going to go look around. You stay here. And he's not like, are you all right? What happened to you? Have you been shot? I feel like there's been a massive conversation that we've actually missed in Resident Evil. Like, they've just cut out where Leon's like, fucking hell, you've got like teeth marks on you.
To be fair, Marv does go, I am not the priority here. So maybe he's like...
blood everywhere.
Yes, sir. Yeah, just pissing blood.
I'm not the priority.
Yeah, so basically I've found 2 medallions of the little gold. You have to get 3 to get out of the police station or whatever. I did a little bit on the other side. When you know in the demo, which everyone's probably seen, when you crawl through the shutter and all that, I went basically, circled back around, went into that area, met Leon again, did a bit in there, and I've opened that shutter up now. So I've done like a full, 8 figure of 8 or whatever. So I'm back in the middle here, and that's exactly where I've got to.
Like we said it before we went live. Actually, I'm about half an hour ahead of you, so I'm not far, but now from where you're going, there's a lot of things going to happen. Like there's a lot of stuff. The story and the content really gets.
I kind of feel like the police station's a bit more like a tutorial area a little bit.
Yes,
kind of like to be like, hey, look, why don't you just try and
this is what this does. Planks go on windows. Good thing to use. Charles in the chat. How you doing,
Love
bud?
all the puzzles.
Yana actually just asked, and I forgot to say, Ed's currently over in LA. He's flying back tonight. He was watching. He may have gone now, but he was watching. Yeah. And James
Hi, Charles.
He's unavailable tonight. So you've got me and Luke.
What up?
So chilly. This is, like we said, this is the first time me and you've actually done a show together.
Yep, just us.
The two of us. Just the two of us.
We
can just literally.
Most beautiful guys.
You know what? I was thinking it when you said that James was going to be unavailable. I was like, you know what?
Not a problem.
We've got this. We're absolutely fine. Absolutely fine.
Not an issue. Not an issue.
So
hi, Charles. Sorry, I've just seen him in the chat. Welcome.
So if everybody would just to forewarn you, if you are very, very interested in the story of Resident Evil 2 and you don't want any spoilers, we will be discussing a little bit about the beginning aspect of it and up to the point that we've just said. I'm not far ahead of Luke, so we're still very much in the early stages of the game. Luke's played as Claire, I'm playing as Leon. So it starts off like the original classic Resident Evil 2 starts off where you are literally just driving into the city. And that's about it. Like, it just kicks off from there.
Yeah.
This takes a little bit of a different path at the beginning. It introduces you a little bit more of the scenario and a little bit more of a dip your toe into the water situation. So it starts off the game where actually it shows you a lorry driver. And he's listening to the radio, and someone on the radio is telling a story about how he saw a girl and her face was rotten and all this sort of thing. And the radio host was like, how much had you had to drink?
Yeah.
And then the radio cuts out, and as he's trying to tune it back in, he drives into somebody on the road. Just want to say, this opening sequence, the animation and the facial expressions are some of the best I've seen for a long time in video games. And you see the guy get out, and he sees the body, and he literally, it's very natural reaction. He's like, what do I do? What do I do?
Yeah.
He's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, he looks around, doesn't he? He's like,
do I just drive off? I've killed her. Like, do I drive off? She's like really raw, and you can see the emotion on his face. And then she stands up behind him. That cuts out. And then it picks up from whoever you chose to play as, whether it be Claire or Leon. And now I've not played as Claire, so this, just like tell me if it's any different. Leon drives up to a petrol station and he's filling up his van, truck or jeep, or whatever it is. And he just all looks around and goes, a bit quiet, like it's a bit strange, like a bit dark as well. And then he sees a police car with its door open, and he's like, that's strange, like just no one around. And then he hears like a smash, and he looks towards where the petrol station shop is, and he goes in, and the lights are out, and then you go through. It's like very great atmosphere, very dark. He gets his torch out, very limited to what you can see, and he finds someone who's been bitten on the neck and don't say anything and points towards the back. You go through to the back, and there's a police officer there fighting a zombie. And basically, all shit breaks loose, and you bump into Claire, and then you both jump into the police car, and off you go. And that kind of then drops into where Resident Evil 2, the classic, sort of picked up from.
Yeah.
What are your opinions with the opening from that point up to the police station?
So, I mean, it was really nice as a original game player to have that nice little pretext to before where the tanker crashes, because the old game basically starts from there, doesn't it? It shows the tanker crashing, and that's about it, I think.
Yeah, it's not much before that. It's like
so
Leon and Claire bump into each other, and then the tanker.
I feel like where obviously Leon goes, "Oh, get down," and shoots. I swear that's part of some. Is that? That's happened before, hasn't it? That
was in the classic. It does that because originally Leon stops when he's driving through Raccoon City and sees a body on the floor and gets out, and then when he checks on the body, zombies turn up and he does a runner. When Claire turns up in Raccoon City in the original, she goes to a diner and she goes into there, and I think like the chef is dead behind the counter and stands up, and she's like, she hasn't got a gun, she's unarmed, and she's like, oh, like, back away. As she's exiting the building, like through like the staff entrance or whatever, or staff exit, the door kicks open, and it's Leon, and he goes, get down, and then that's where he shoots them.
Yeah, right. So they've basically brought them together in a different way then.
Slightly different location.
Yeah. So that's nice to see them come together, but it opens the game quite well. I think it really sort of sets the tone for the game. You're a bit like, what is going on? If you've never played it before, you're going to be like, I'm intrigued. I want to know what's happening.
I feel like it helps you connect with the characters just a little bit better than the original. Like, you see, like, again, I don't know if this is any different with Claire, but with Leon, when you start the game, you're wearing, civvies is the technical term for a police officer. Like, he's wearing a normal jacket, jeans, and a t-shirt. And in the original, he's already wearing SWAT gear. He turns up prepared. Whereas with this one, he's wearing normal clothes in all that situation. It's not until you meet Marvin, which is the one of the higher ranking police officers in the police station, that's when you get your SWAT gear. And I like that transition over to, you're going to have to be prepared for this situation. And you can tell, like, there's a big gap where you meet Marvin and it goes dark, and then it obviously pops up maybe like half an hour later, and he's got his gear on, he's ready. They've obviously had a bit of a conversation where Marvin has filled him in a little bit on the situation. Yeah. And I like...
because there would be a professional sort of dialogue there, wouldn't there? They'd be like, communications are down, rookie. Like, there's no, I'm not your sergeant anymore. This is bad. Like,
you're going to need this gear. Put this on.
You take this and just shoot before you ask questions. Probably something like that. Which is where you'd be like, oh my god.
Basically, Marvin has been, well, as we know, as the original players, that Marvin has been bitten. He's got like a gouge out the side of his stomach, basically. How he's not dead already, that's quite shocking.
Yeah, it's impressive.
And it's almost, you can sort of see with Marvin, like, it's like he knows he's going to die. It's like he knows what's going to happen to him. And
you can see it in his eyes in this one.
Yeah. Whereas in the original, obviously, with the pixelatedness, you couldn't quite convey that. And I think like the only way he managed to do it was like literally the first time you meet Marvin, he pretty much pulls a gun in your face and goes, "Get going," or something like that.
Yeah.
There's not much of a conversation, and Leon's always like, "I'll come back for you," and you're like, "I'm fucking not coming back for you. Pulled a gun on me." But with this one, you kind of feel like there's a very much, like you say, that higher rank still, and he feels responsible of Leon, because Leon's come into this situation where Marvin probably thought he wasn't going to see another alive person again.
Well, yeah, they were throwing a party for him, weren't they? If you walk in that office where Tom just was, there's welcome Leon signs up, his desk is locked because they've written a little note for him in there, which I love that little puzzle, by the way. It's really neat.
Because they're doing a bit of like, your first task is to unlock this.
And that kind of introduces you as a player into how puzzles work in Resident Evil. And just to quickly diverge from that, at work, we kind of, the way we lock up is a Resident Evil style of locking up. Like, we take the till out and put it somewhere else. We lock it with a different key, put the key in a different drawer, lock that drawer, move the key somewhere else.
Put the bullets in a different location.
And we always joke that it's a Resident Evil 2 way of...
Do you leave notes around, though?
So if a burglar comes in, he's like, this key doesn't open anything.
Wait, there's a letter from Tom to somebody else. Ha ha ha.
It's the first initial of the manager, and you'd be like, what is going on here?
And there's keys with like shapes on them.
But it did always confuse me when I played the original. I'm like, why is the police station locked up like this? Does that make any sense? Why is there gemstones and shit everywhere? But they never tell you it's an old art museum.
Well, apparently that I thought it originally did say that it was a museum in the original film, but I can't quite remember. But in this one, apparently they do say that it was originally an art museum, and that's the reason why it's all a bit weird.
Yeah, and it's an old art. Not gallery, it is an old art museum, yeah. That's why, like, in the act, they've just converted everything to work.
The one thing, I love the opening, like, to be honest, how it introduces you to the world is amazing. Like, it really pulls you into the story.
Yeah.
There's only one thing that I was a bit disappointed about. And that was, I don't feel we got to see enough of Raccoon City. And I felt like from the moment the accident happens...
That's what I was going to touch on.
Yeah, it was... I was like, because Like, Tom, admittedly, he ran around a little bit before he got to police station. I went, like, down the road, went left, down the alleyway, down the steps, up the steps, across the road, and I'm at the police station. And I was like,
yeah.
I remember in the original, like, you go from, admittedly, it's a very different sort of game in style because it was fixed camera positions and everything like that. But it made it
still
feel
more.
Yeah, it made you feel that you saw more, and we saw like the gun shop and stuff like that, and maybe because obviously we haven't seen the gun store, and I do believe the gun store is in the game, so it may be that we're going to do a slight diversion and maybe get to see a little bit more of Raccoon City later on. So that I was a bit disappointed about. But that was the only criticism I would say, that maybe they just rushed us to the police station just a little bit quicker than I thought.
Well, maybe those bits are part of the DLC that's coming in February.
That's a good point. Moves over onto our, you're great for segues, aren't you? And it moves over onto the next bit, which is free DLC coming for Resident Evil 2, I believe. Is it like the first lot of it is mid-February? And then
I believe it's
coming...
February. I don't know what date it is yet. I don't think we've had a date.
It's around about the 20th, I think I saw somewhere. But it's that's the first drop, and then there's going to be some more coming up in March as well. So,
all right.
I've got my notes here.
Classic notes from Roger Knowles.
Oh gosh. Bear with me. Let's bring it up. So, like, I've been having a little hunt round about this as well, because some of the news sites weren't actually giving full details on actually the DLC itself. They were just sort of glossing over it a little bit. So,
it's free DLC, Martin, by the way. The first one, anyway.
Yes, it's free. Apparently, both of them are free as well. The one in March is costumes, which is free. But
that's good.
The Ghost Survivor DLC, which is coming. Basically, what they're going to do is... I'll just read it for it. Resident Evil 2 is getting a special gameplay mode called The Ghost Survivors after the launch of the game. It's free content update that will add this gameplay mode. The Ghost Survivors will let users play through the game as multiple characters. It features roguelike elements by making everything random, so you will get new experience every time you play through this mode. There is an in-game shop that gives items, but it is not tied to any microtransactions. You will earn points by doing activities that can be redeemed on the in-game shop. Now, there isn't obviously really any information about what's going to be available in that shop. I'm presuming probably different guns and things like that. These are like short stories. These are based on the gun shop owner, and I've forgotten his name.
Wasn't it something Kendo?
Yes.
Jason, something Kendo?
Yes, it was. I believe it was Kendo. Have I got it? I've got it here. No, I didn't. I thought I had another.
That's right. It's not important.
Kendo, and then there was the mayor's daughter. You can play as well, and then also a SWAT team member who is part of Hunk's team, who goes to get the virus, which you'll find out a bit of the story a bit later on. So you get to play those, but it's like a short story, and I've got a slight feeling it's going to be like you need to get from A to B and complete these like quests en route and achieve these certain challenges. Probably maybe even a time limit or something like that, because it does say rogue-like elements. So do you die, then you use that stuff that you got maybe to have another go, such as your currency and things like that.
I think it'll be like to get further. So obviously the more points, I don't know if you die, you lose points or whatever, but you probably maybe able to keep some, and then you can buy more stuff, or like a first aid spray, maybe some extra ammo, so you can get to that next maybe checkpoint or something like that, maybe.
So, but also what's been going around is like Capcom haven't confirmed it, but there's been a couple of rumors that there are going to be multiple characters that are going to be eventually released for this mode. So we've heard of the first 3, but I did read somewhere that there could be up to 15 characters available to play in this mode, but all taken from minor characters from either Resident Evil 2 or the Resident Evil franchise. So we could actually see some which weren't actually in the game, which will be interesting.
Yeah, because there might be timelines that run at the same time as Raccoon City Outbreak that are just different games or something, maybe.
Well,
that might be cool.
Apparently this Ghost Survivors isn't actually classed as canon. So this is going to be whatever happens within this is just kind of, it's very video gamey. It's going to be just...
It's like an experiment or whatever they're just doing in that sort of game space.
Also, the other update as well, what's going to be coming, I believe this is the one that's coming in March, is that they're going to release some free costumes for Leon and Claire. And the costumes are basically the old pixel style look of Leon and Claire, like with the jagged shapes and stuff like that to be played in the main game. So they're coming. Quite cool updates. Certainly, they're certainly looking at the future, basically trying to keep people coming back to the game as much as possible. But I've got a question for you, and I didn't actually mention this to you at any point. I'm going to throw it at you now.
Okay.
If you could create any form of DLC for Resident Evil 2 yourself, like whatever you wanted for it, what would you have for Resident Evil 2?
A co-op mode.
Co-op mode? Yep. That'd be cool.
Maybe, I don't know, you could, they do like a nice little structured bit where Leon and Claire do something together. I don't know. Because they obviously only pass and then separate, so obviously that gives you the chance to have separate stories. But in this, the stories aren't that separate, are they?
No, they're very, very similar.
Strange.
It's a bit of a change from the original classic one because the Tyrant, which is Mr. X, was Route B.
Claire only.
It was pretty much Claire only, yeah. Sorry, Claire only, and not Leon. Whereas they've sort of merged them now.
Yeah.
Which is a bit strange. Which, if they did do a co-op and they kept it like the original, it would be good if you could play both games simultaneously, and then you could sort of help each other through. So, for example, you're never actually next to each other really, but like, right, I'm waiting at the bars. I can't unlock the gate. Can you pass me the bolt cutters because I need to go unlock this other door? Bolt croppers are could be on Route B, and you go, there you go, they're the bolt. So you pass those through, and they pass you something else, and then off you go again. So things that you do on one side affect what happens on the other. That'd be quite cool.
That would be good. Yeah,
that'd
be interesting. And they've done it before, so I don't see why it'd be an issue for them. The other one would be like what some of the modes they've done before, like a mercenary mode or something, and it's like kind of like a horde mode where it's similar to the survivors one with the points, but you you earn points for shooting.
You're in like an arena, aren't you? And then you got to kill the waves of enemies coming towards you.
I mean, that'd be cool because it'll give you a reason to. That could be another little co-op-y. They could do that as the co-op. I like co-op. That's my thing.
I was thinking about this for a little while, actually, and I was thinking, like, wow, what would I have? And I was a massive fan of Resident Evil Outbreak. And
I never got to play that.
I played it, but it was meant to be played online, but it got released on PlayStation 2, and I didn't have one of those online adapter thingies.
That's why I didn't play it, yeah.
And to be honest, it was really good, and what I liked about it more than anything else was that it was actually based on the stories of normal civilians of Raccoon City. Now, I would love a story following, like, Marvin up to the point that he meets Leon. Right from the point of the outbreak, and see the cinematics of him, or chatting about another. Maybe there was another
shit
police.
Breaks down.
Yeah, everything's coming apart. You have to go from A to B. You have to go out into the city. It's not just based in the police station. And the story, it could be a very linear story. I'd be happy with that.
Yeah,
but it's just telling you a different side of it, like earlier on and leading up to a point. Maybe that police officer did escape. Maybe it's on a totally different police officer. Something like that. That would be really, really cool.
Just quickly, Rog, tell Tom to inspect that scepter he's just picked up.
Oh, he's done it? He's already on it. He just did it when you said it.
I've just seen it on the stream, sorry.
Yeah, you alright? He's on it. You see, I haven't used that yet. Have you used that yet?
No, not where I am now.
No. If I remember in the original, there meant to be another one just like it.
Yeah, in the old game, you use a lighter to burn a picture, and then one drops out.
Yeah,
and
then
then
you
the
put
other one
those
tips out of
into a statue or something, and then, yeah.
I think it drops a key out. Actually, you put them in the goddess statue, I think, and she chucks a key out, a little key. Yeah. She pours a little key out, I think, if I remember rightly.
Just a question: how much did you shit yourself when you saw the liquor for the first time?
Oh, I was a bit like, right, I know they can't see.
Yep.
So that you can creep, because you can walk, but it still makes footsteps. But you can also creep, and I just walked really slowly past it because it was there. And you walk up to it, and he goes, bleh, and it eats a fucking body off the floor the first time.
You know what? I don't even know what happened because I closed my eyes.
Really?
I was like,
did you attack it or anything like that?
I'm trying to remember when you first see it. It's in that corridor, isn't it?
Before where the STARS office is.
Yes,
yeah.
I ran into the STARS office.
Exactly. I did the same thing. I had Claire's grenade launcher on me with a couple of acid rounds. I was like,
see, Leon, we don't have that. We have the shotgun, and it has 4 rounds in. Right, you put 4 shells into the shotgun. It takes 5 to kill a liquor. So you go bang, 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 bang. and you're like, I'm so gonna die. And if anything, like I remember even reading up on it, or like someone else has had problems with the lickers when you're playing as Leon. Apparently it's a case of just hit and run with Leon, whereas with Claire you've got the rocket launcher acid spray thingy, which does apparently help a lot.
Flame rounds, which I guess would create a little, and then obviously the acid rounds. But the acid rounds you have to combine gunpowder for, so it's not quite as. But I've stockpiled a few of them, but I thought it's easier to avoid it. There's no point fighting it. It's blind. Yeah. So as long as you're quiet, and then so I messed about in the Stars office. I didn't run out of space, and I was like, shit, I'm gonna have to run back in. And I walked out, and I was like, okay, he's not there, because you can open the door before you walk through it. Can't
so
you?
Like nudge it.
And I'm like, all right, walk out, and then obviously the licker's down to the left from out the door. He's down the left, so I was like, right, I'm gonna have to go down there. So I walked down because I couldn't see him to the right. So I walked down there, doing my slowness, and literally it's
on the side of the wall.
Yeah, and it pops his head. I'm like, so I just walked backwards. And it followed me, and I was like, how can I get? And it's as wide as the hallway, basically. And I was like, fuck it, I'll go back anyways.
I'll stay in there. It'll be fine.
Yeah. And then it walked that way, and I came back out, and I avoided it. I was scared of it.
I
know best not to shoot it.
Oh, dude, seriously. Where you are, by the way, just give you a hint. Get ready with the ammunition.
Right.
Get ready, because seriously, shit hits the fan big time. Just be prepared. I would because I had 15 bullets left, and I didn't have any shotgun shells or anything. And anyway, when it comes up, you'll know what happens, and you'll be like, he had 15 bullets with this. I was like, ah!
Yana's just said a cool one for DLC. Rog, I don't know if you see it in the Twitch chat.
Like a way out with zombies. Yes, actually. I believe that style of gameplay is amazing for telling like stories and the cooperative and everything like that. A zombie like a way out would be perfect. But see, obviously I'm a massive Resident Evil fan, so set within Raccoon City itself, because the story of Raccoon City, if everybody's in the chat who's never really experienced Resident Evil before, and maybe they've only experienced maybe 4 onwards, like Resident Evil 4, 5, or 6, or 7, Resident Evil 2, and I would say 3, are proper zombie stories. They don't go too crazy. Like, that's one thing that Resident Evil does suffer with, that they go a little bit too out there, and it's all about, like, cloning or weird sort of experiments that are just a bit so stupid that don't really make sense. Whereas with Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3...
And 1.
And 1 as well, actually, 1 as well, was very grounded in itself. It didn't take itself... Well, it took itself quite serious, but in the sense of reality. So everything has a very realistic explanation. So when the virus breaks out, how it spreads is very like, oh yeah, that probably would be a case. And also... As far as I'm aware, when I've read the book, which if you ever have a chance, read the Resident Evil stories by S.D. Perry. They're really, really hard to get hold of now. But she explains a little bit, like when she writes, like it takes some time for this virus to kick up. It doesn't happen in like a 24 hours. It's over about 3-day, 4-day period that it's slowly getting more and more, and then to a point then where they are with Leon turning up and stuff like that. It's really interesting. And so if you're ever thinking it's just going to be a mad like monster game, it does have elements of that, but it is very, very zombie. Very, very zombie, if that makes sense. Very, very zombie. Very much like The Walking Dead in some aspects. So if you are interested in trying that, definitely have a go. The one-shot demo is still available over on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC until the 30th of this month, so 2 days' time. Download it and have a go and see what you think to it. If anything, the one-shot demo is no way as scary as the main game. I think the main game is a lot more scary because you get more invested to the characters from the beginning. But no, I've got to admit, so I don't like doing numbers like out of 10. So I'm trying to think of how to rate this with you. So like, how if you had to give it a number?
I've not finished it, so I couldn't really say.
Of your experience so far, what would you give it, like, so far?
I'd rate it pretty high, maybe 8, 8.5-ish, because there is no multiplayer aspect to it, and there is replayability that I know of. So I know you need to play it at least 4 times, but I mean...
It's hard to... I know I shouldn't have put you on the spot there, actually. That's a bit unfair,
I really love the game, so it's probably, I've got a biased opinion, I would say, but It's hard. I'd love to have tried it as a new person who has never played it, Resident Evil 2 before, and know anything about the whole, all of the other stuff we know, because I know about all the. You've watched the films. I'm sure I've watched the films. I've played a lot of the other games. I'm currently doing Resident Evil 5 on the channel, and obviously that's co-op, so that's why I'm at it. So yeah, it's hard to say, but the graphics are amazing. The motion capture of and the voice acting of the actors and in the cutscenes is astounding. Like you said, it's like watching a movie.
Yes, it is.
It's almost like a CGI movie in some points. And the lighting's really good. The gunplay's fun. It's functional. It needs to be difficult because obviously Leon's a rookie, Claire's a college student, so I don't think they're supposed to be able to shoot that well. I would think.
I don't know, what experience Claire's got.
Where the fuck did Claire get a gun from anyway?
Yeah, I was going to ask you, because obviously in the original classic, she gets it out of the glove box.
She has the knife here, doesn't she?
So,
and I like the minor upgrades. I don't know if there's any more, but with Claire's gun, I found a little fast reloader for her gun in Leon's desk.
In Leon's desk on mine, playing as Leon, there's an extended mag.
Nice. Yeah.
So it's like, but at first I was like, this seems really early to get this, and I thought, is this for because he said it was for the Matilda gun, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I live streamed the first hour of it and put it off to one side, never thought of it. Went back into the game and went, is that a modification for my pistol? And sure enough, it was. And I was like, oh, yeah, that seems really early to get that.
Did you get the deluxe version of the game?
No, I didn't. I got the standard edition.
So I bought the deluxe one on PC, and it gives you the Samurai Edge pistol in the game. So when I filmed it, I played as Claire, went to my box, and in there's a Samurai Edge. Just a normal 9mm pistol, not like the big one that Barry uses. Not the big. But that's got 15 mag clip. And obviously the gun Claire normally uses has got like 5 bullets in it.
That's is that Chris's or Jill's gun? Is it?
I'm not sure. I think Barry uses a huge Magnum.
Oh yeah. That's a great gun.
It might be Chris's gun. I'm not sure, but. Maybe Chris taught her how to shoot, maybe when she was a youngster or something.
In the STARS office, there is a back room, isn't there, which is locked. And there's a gun in there, which I can't get to. But it looks like there's I bet it's like either one of the STARS members' pistol is available. And I've got a slight feeling that's
Barry
the Magnum.
Was a member of STARS, but obviously in the first game... Oh, actually, in Resident Evil 1, he dies, I think.
No, it depends. The canon story.
He's in Revelations.
Yeah, in the canon story, he survived. If you play as Jill in the first game, you save Chris, Barry, and then there's meant to be Rebecca somewhere, but she never appears up in
Rebecca Chambers.
Yeah, she appears in Chris's story, but I think Jill's is canon, where Barry survives, whereas in Chris's version, he sort of never really, or either he dies or he doesn't appear anywhere or something. But no, I think the thing with Resident Evil 2 is, if you are someone who has never experienced the Resident Evil games, this is probably a really good one to try out because it's not full action. And yes, it is scary, but it's not full on horror.
But if they try this one, there's no way that you can get them to play the other one because they are just so dated now.
And also, you don't need to have played the other ones to play this one because the story is quite self-contained. It does reference the first game a few times,
but just like the outbreak in the they just say about the mansion in Arklay or whatever it's called.
Yeah, and so definitely worth trying out. I love the game. I'm really enjoying it. I agree with you. Like I said, if you had to put a mark on it, 8.5, 9 out of 10. The beginning bit, I would love to have seen a little bit more Raccoon City, but like same as yourself, Luke, I haven't played the game fully yet. We could end up going back into the city of Raccoon City and really experience what the scenario that people were in. I'm really looking forward to it. There's something about that. I'm really sadistic when it comes to zombie games. I love seeing how civilization deals with a zombie apocalypse. Dawn of the Dead, the remake, really sort of solidifies like an amazing outbreak start.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen that film, if you haven't seen that, just watch it. It's great. The first 10 minutes of that is perfect.
It's a really good film. That's really good film.
And that pretty much wraps up our Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, go on. Fine.
Go for it. So you going to say something?
I can't literally remember what I was going to say.
I'm so sorry, I cut you off.
That's fine.
I have a bad habit of doing that. I need to stop doing that.
No, I just thought of it and then I was like, crap.
Dawn of the Dead, great film.
I think it's gone. Don't worry.
Okay, no worries.
My brain's terrible. My brain's so bad.
That pretty much wraps up the show. Like we'll say, we're going to very much focus on Resident Evil 2 tonight. It's a game that I know Luke has been looking forward to. I've been looking forward to. Tom is currently playing. How you find it? Ooh,
Yeah, I can't wait to play it after our show.
I'm getting really excited. Just talking about it with you, I'm getting really giddy.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
Go on.
One of my favourite things about this game is the way the puzzles are and stuff with the items. Like, I love all the little, trying to figure out the little combinations to little things. Because that would be a thing. Like, in a police station, shit would be locked up. And you would need to figure out, like, he found a little box earlier.
Yep.
And it's got the little beep beep buttons. And you, like, beep it. And it does a lot. I love all little, and you move it around. You can hear stuff rattling in it. And you're like,
the detail is amazing.
I love that, yeah. I love that.
A couple of the lockers have got, like, your typical chain lock where you just turn it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't find any notes of what they were. So I literally just sat there and just like, nope. I spent 10 minutes on one.
Table.
Yeah.
I did that for the table. On the second one, because the guy doesn't have his name on his desk.
Just try all different ones.
You find the first two, and I just was like, click, 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 and it opened eventually.
Oh, right. With that, with Leon's desk, when you have to do both locks on the left and the right, and one of them, like you say, it doesn't give you it, but I could only find one, right? Because another one is on the floor. So, like, one is missing, one's on the floor, and one is on the desk. So, the one on the desk, got it. Yep. I was like, oh, I can't find that one. Oh, where's the third one? And it was on the floor, and I'd killed a zombie, and he'd landed on it. And his leg had covered the letter I needed. So I stood there and blew his leg off just to get to the... I literally just stood there and planted about 5 bullets into his leg. The dismemberment is disgusting in this game, but it's very, very cool.
Excellent, yeah, it's good.
And literally had to blow his leg up to actually see the letter, and then I got it.
I did a test when I was filming. I shot a zombie's arms to see if he could still get me. And he does. He doesn't grab you, but he goes like that, bites you like that. And I was like, fuck, I should have blew his face off. But yeah, if they haven't got arms, they'll still come at you.
Someone advised me to save ammunition, blow the knees off.
Right, okay.
Because if you keep shooting in the head, they will keep getting back up. Obviously, after a while, they will die. But if you find that, or some of the zombies will go down like 3 or 4 times and still get back up until eventually they will not get back up again.
Yeah.
But the amount of ammunition that you pile into their head is just ridiculous. So they advise to do basically blow their kneecaps off and let them crawl around for a while and just kind of walk around them. Apparently,
yeah, because they're easy to avoid then.
Yeah, that's apparently. And also,
if you stand on the back of them, where obviously they're crawling, they can't get you because they're just like...
And also, I've got a feeling, I'm sure I've read like months ago that there's Crimson Heads in this, which is, if you are a fan of Resident Evil 1, the remake, and I don't know if there's anywhere in any other games of the franchise, when you killed a zombie but didn't blow its head off, after a while, if you came back to the certain area where that dead body is, it would get back up and it'd be twice as hard to kill and it'd be faster. And this is one thing I am bricking, because I've had to kill a few zombies and I haven't blown the head off and they're still laying there, and their body, after playing an hour of playing, I go back to a room, it's still in the same position where I left it, and I'm worried for later on in the game.
That's scary.
Yep.
Not knowing if they're going to be back. You think, yeah, they're done.
Yep.
And this big ass red one comes at you, just sprinting at you. You'd be like, "What the fuck do I do?"
I'm struggling with ammunition now as well. I'm really struggling, and I'm a bit like, I don't want to go back to PlayStation. I do not want to go back, and I know I'm going to have to go back.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, I'm getting scared thinking about it.
Yeah, me too.
That was our Resident Evil 2 show here on Always Games TV. Yes, it is Always Games TV. I was going to say something entirely different then. And this week in gaming, I was in my work mode. I was back to my show that I did for a company on Friday. This week in gaming, big thank you to Luke for joining me.
No problem.
Just the two of us.
Thanks for having us. It was great. It was good fun.
I've enjoyed it, man. I've really enjoyed it. Big thank you to Tom for playing Resident Evil 2.
He's doing a great job. Well done, Tom.
I'm going to play some music. Hopefully I get it working, because this is the first time I've used OBS. There we go. And we'll see you all next Monday at 8 p.m. over on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. If you're watching our live show right now, stick around, because we're going to be back and we're going to do the post show. If you're watching our edited show over on YouTube, come watch the live show. You miss all the pre-show and the post show and stuff.
Come on.
Anyway, see you then. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.